नमस्कार and welcome to another 9 p.m. live. ठीक है तो the fourth phase election is over. The fourth phase of election is over. My apologies. Fourth phase over, and we have polled for 379 seats so far, and 164 more to go. This is the status. Now, what we are going to talk tonight is, you see, a lot of people who support BJP says nahi 300 par ho gaya, we are already through, we are already beyond 300. This is what a lot of right wingers say. A lot of people who thinks otherwise says nahi yaar, things are not looking very good. BJP is still fighting, is still trying their best. Now this is the narrative. So let's find out from Mohan Guruswamy. You know him, we've met him before. This is the second time we've invited him, and we request him to talk to us about what he feels the status is, what he feels. Is there a vote for change? What he feels, is something going to happen, or is it going to go back like a lot of experts say? Prashant Kishore said nothing is going to change. A lot of pollsters say nothing is going to change. Is that's the way it's going to be? So let's go find out from Mohan Guruswamy as to what he thinks. Let's get right into the show. Sir, good evening and welcome to my show. Thank you so much for joining me once again. And sir, my question straight: are things going to change? Where do you think the entire voting process is going? Is it going in favor of NDA? Is it going in favor of the India Alliance? Where is it going, sir?
You see, in a democracy, the basic rule is governments are thrown out. And governments are thrown out on two issues. Either there's what we call balance issues, that values are severely upset, people are upset with something like Bofors, where there's huge corruption, which is believable, or bread and butter issues. Prices have gone up, jobs are not easy to come by, and others are doing well and you're not doing well.
To get started, download the Google app on a phone or tablet.
So, both these factors will determine whether they're going to vote for the government in place, which is there in place. Now, on both these counts, I think this government is doing badly. The economics are very clear. Growth rates have plummeted in the last 10 years. And after the high of 7.8% in the Manmohan Singh years, for the decade, which was 7.8%, we're now struggling at about 5% if you use the old method. He's gone and changed the base year. So you get 6.8, 6.7, that kind of a figure for the decade. But it's less. It's 2.2% less if you compare it with the UPA period. So you're talking about 5%. And India needs to create 12 million jobs a year. Nowhere near created that jobs. Because of demography. So a lot of young people are without jobs, knocking on, and they're doing underproductive jobs. Meantime, you got educated. Whether you have skills or no, you got a BA, so you think you're educated. You got a matriculation pass, you think you're educated. And you don't want to do coarse labor anymore. So a lot of young people are without jobs. Families are supporting them. Mercifully, the joint family system, by and large, holds strong in most parts of the country. So families support each other. So the pain of unemployment is not felt so badly, except unless you're very, very poor. And that class has not benefited at all. If you see today, I saw some figures where the bottommost quintile has actually in terms of relative poverty has come down, in the sense that they're worse off than the others. Now, obviously, 70% of the growth is taken away by a handful of people at the top. Top 10% takes away all the growth. There's nothing else which filters down. There's no such thing as trickle down. You know, Professor Galbraith once famously said that trickle down is like feeding the horses oats so that the carrots can eat the dung. So this is what trickle down is happening in India. Very few jobs going on. And therefore you got this huge welfare edifice. Every family now in Telangana, for instance, gets 6,000-7,000 rupees. Modi is now joined the race by saying, I'm giving rice free, I'm giving wheat free. That's because you're desperate, because you know that people are badly off and they have to be given something. And this, we've got into this spiral now of the parties competing with each other in giveaways. Net result of this, you'll have less money for capital investment. And because there's no capital investment, there are no jobs. And people want jobs. You can palm off some people with, a few bags of rice. But in the end, you want a monthly salary. You want to live well. You want to live with dignity. And that can only happen when you get a good job. Industrialization is not taking place. We're getting into a post-industrial picture where most of our jobs are coming from the service sector without having industrialized. Normally, you get industrialized first, and then you become a service-oriented economy, like the US. Because, people have money and they want to go and eat hamburgers and, do fun things. So service sector grows, banking grows. That's not the case in India. We are seeing the service sector growing without industrialization. Industrialization is a jobs country, whether it's making shirts or whether it's making toys or whether it's making shoes or whatever. These things are not growing. That's why China has taken away everything from us.
Sir, but tell me, in a country like ours, I'm sorry to interject, but in a country like ours, where I think most of us are talking about mandir, most of us are talking about masjid, most of us are talking about Hindu, Muslim, who has more children, who's where is this? Where are these job stories? Where are these? Because we vote for a caste, don't we? So where are these job stories and inflation stories coming from?
For the stomach. When you're hungry, you feel it. When you're without a job, you feel it. When you're a nobody, you feel it. If you have a job, a 9-to-5 job and a wage coming in at the end of the month, you're somebody. If you're a guy scratching around all the time, and you're absolute nobody, then you're not satisfied. And that is the life people are leading. Even a fellow riding a Zomato bike, he's a nobody. He gets a daily wage. He has no PF. He has no job security. And every day he's carrying these packets of food costing thousands of rupees when he's hungry. Or you treat it as a spectacle of, 1,000 crores spent on an engagement party and publicized all over the country. What are people to think of this? So, some people can be doing well, but doesn't mean that it is not going unnoticed. There is always the issue of initially you'll see that it's going to happen to me also. It might happen to me also. But when it's bypassing you, and it's bypassed you for 20 years, then you want to react. And this is what's happened. I mean, this is the UPA period continuing. Those same policies are continuing. At least the old people could do it better because they knew that you have to put money in investment, in industrialization, in capital investment, in creating new jobs. Well, this guy doesn't understand it. Basically, he feels that giving money is bad. That's at Chicago school, that welfareism is bad. And he spent, even during the COVID period, they didn't give money. They juggled around with figures. So, where do you stand? You got a man who doesn't know economics, who doesn't understand the growth process, who doesn't understand the process, who thinks that only starting a factory, a big factory for his cronies is industrialization, and that's development. That's not development. Development is when you have thousands of new companies coming up doing small things. That's not happening.
But
Here you're creating
but
giant companies.
are all of this affecting the vote, sir? I mean, the question is again. I'm asking you the same question. Are these affecting the ballot?
Of course, you don't have a job, it's going to affect the vote. If you're having only one meal a day, it's going to affect the vote. If your children are going to bad schools, it's going to affect the vote. If you don't have, if you're spending, you're having to borrow money all the time to take care of your health, it's going to affect your vote. That's what's happening. Where are the hospitals? Where is the public health system? Where is the school education system? We're all gone for a six. What does the government do? Doesn't spend money on health and starts an insurance scheme, basically telling you to go to a private doctor or to a small private hospital where they fleece you, they kill you. And don't people realize this? Of course they realize. So you try to pump, you think they're stupid, and then you say, I'm created a new temple for you.
Sir, if that was the case, then how does one justify a lot of pollsters saying that possibly this time around in Tamil Nadu, maybe they may not win a seat, but the voter percentage, definitely Bharatiya Janata Party is going to have a better voting percentage. Number one. Number two is same is the case with Kerala. Prashant, one more minute, sir. Prashant Kishore says that Telangana, the state you are sitting in, would fetch around 6 to 9 seats for BJP. What do you say, sir?
I don't take Prashant Kishore seriously. I don't think he's a serious pollster analyst. He jumps on bandwagons. And Kerala, and he's not the last word on elections. And Kerala, BJP's vote share might go up by 1% or 2%, but not going to get a single seat. Ditto Tamil Nadu. In Telangana, BJP are in the race for 4 or 5 seats. And that is because the BRS in the last 1 month has gone supporting the BJP candidates where they want to defeat Congress candidates. For instance, in Chevalla, the Congress candidate is a defector from the BRS. So BRS is all out to defeat him. All his cadre working with the BJP. It's the same in many constituencies, in Adilabad, in Karimnagar, in Malkajgiri, in Warangal, various places. Even Mahbubnagar, which is Revant Reddy's home district. BRS is working for the BJP. And that, to some extent, is strengthening them. Otherwise, and most of the BJP candidates are BRS defectors. Most of them. So, so I don't think there's any way for Modi out here. And I think, I think he's wrong about 9 seats and all.
Sir, what about BRS? Talking about BRS, a lot of people say that BRS may be wiped out this time in the Lok Sabha. Is that true?
Because people have defected left and right. KCR is now left with only his family. There's no rank, there's no middle level leadership with him. The next tire has gone completely to the Congress or to the BJP. Look at the candidates from the Congress and BJP. In Malkajgiri, which is where I live, in Secunderabad, the Congress candidate is a defector from the BRS. The BJP candidate is a defector from the BRS. And there's the BRS candidate. BRS candidate who doesn't figure. So all 3 BRS people. So I call it Congress in brackets BRS, BJP in brackets BRS. Medak is the same. In every other constituency is the same.
Sir, why is Telangana rejecting BRS?
So Telangana didn't reject BRS. BRS lost by 2%. Last time, BRS was only 2% below Congress. But the organization is crumbling because immediately after the election, KCR broke his hip and then he was locked in he didn't come out for a month and a half. And it's too much of a family thing. And the people he had with him, and Revant Reddy is a very skillful organizer. And some of KCR's lieutenants like Itala Rajendra had gone out to the BJP. So they kept drawing people into the BJP. So the leadership class is gone, but I don't think rank and file has gone away to the BJP as Prashant Kishore and all these other guys are making out. That's not happening.
What about...
KCR will do
Sorry.
well. They'll hold their own, but not win any seats.
Sir, what about Andhra Pradesh? How is Andhra Pradesh looking? Again, TDP is tipped to be going to do exceedingly well in Andhra Pradesh.
My understanding was, I've not been there, my understanding from my friends who are from there is that TDP was doing well till Babu got saddled with Modi's negatives. There is a negative baggage going with Modi. And that travels with him, and that becomes number one priority, is weighing Babu down. That's why he's saying, I'll give reservations to Muslims. I don't care what Modi says. Another one says, Modi has said that, so what's having Muslim vote, which Babu used to get, TDP used to get, is gone. Modi came and said, no reservations for Muslims. Made that an issue. After all this, you see, the demography is the concentrations of Muslims, like Guntur and places like that. There are large numbers of Muslim concentrations. And if they vote against you, you are in trouble.
So finally, sir, but TDP coming through will definitely help NDA. So does YSR. YSR also finally is going to go with NDA.
No, I don't think so. I don't think YSR is going with NDA. If he gets any seats, he's not going with NDA.
Are you saying he will go with the India Alliance?
He will go finally. They will go against Modi. And even TDP will decide after the elections. This Babu will not wait for Modi to be short of MPs and say, I'll support you, I'll bail you out. These are all favor their friends. After all,
Correct.
Babu was an ally, then became a major enemy of Modi, started calling him names. And now he's gone back. He's looking out for himself.
What about Karnataka, sir? Let's come to Karnataka. And how do you see Karnataka going? And
I think Karnataka, the Congress is doing well. Congress is doing well. BJP is in trouble. Bad leadership, bad local leadership. They keep talking about dynasty, and then they fostered Yediyurappa's son as the president, and their legislative party leader is Bomai's son. So and notoriously corrupt. Notoriously corrupt. There's 40% business still sticking to them. And it's too soon after the assembly elections. And they had 28 seats there. Assume I'm charitable, I'm Prashant Kishore. I say, no, they're doing well. They'll get 20 seats. But you still lost 8. So when you're doing very well, like in Rajasthan, even if you lose 5, you lost. So question is whether BJP will recover the seats it's lost. It's going to lose in the north because they've done so well in the past. In the south, they're not going to get any more seats in the south. Tamil Nadu is 0 for them. Kerala 0.
sir, they have an opportunity in West Bengal. West Bengal, they seem to be doing well. They have an opportunity to have more. Sir, sorry.
TMC is doing well in West Bengal. TMC is going to do better this time than last time. Ditto in Maharashtra.
Maharashtra too, maybe they see. End of the day, sir, one thing we need to understand about Maharashtra is Maharashtra. While we talk about 42 seats were not for BJP. BJP only had 23 seats in Maharashtra. So if BJP even gets 18 or 19 or 20, I mean, it's not a huge loss like it's made to sound.
It's not BJP alone. It's BJP plus Shiva Sena. It's depending on where is that Ram Shiva Sena going. Is it going with Uddhav?
No, I'm saying, sir, BJP plus Shiv Sena was NDA. So that figures into 353 seats.
Shiv Sena is not there.
I beg your pardon?
That Shiv Sena is not there.
That Shiv Sena is not there.
It's not there. So where will BJP get its support?
No, I'm not saying BJP will do as much as it did last 2019, though a lot of leaders who I have interviewed, and if our viewers can see a couple of interviews I've done in the last 1 week, a lot of BJP leaders feel that they'll still get 40, but assuming that they don't. Sir, end of the day,
BJP, even Modi today says I'll get 400. So what is the credibility now? The man who's going to go to POK tomorrow evening. And then he says, they will take your Mangal Sutras. This is an error. Why is he desperate? Why is he crying on TV again and again?
Correct. But sir, end of the day, what I need to kind of understand from you is pollsters and people on ground, they are still saying that voter sentiments have not changed drastically. Voter sentiments have not changed drastically. South, yes.
Which pollster?
Sir.
Which pollster?
I mean, I almost, sir, every second.
No, which pollsters? Who are these pollsters?
See voters, access my...
What is their track record in the past? And what are their vulnerabilities? I don't take these people seriously. You don't have a large professional organization like a Nielsen or a Gallup doing polling 365 days a year. These guys all wake up, they are like the election commission. They wake up before the elections and then they start running polls. There's a huge technology, there's a huge psychology behind polling. You got to understand the process. And
sir,
and if you are vulnerable to blandishments, after all, haven't we seen exit polls also going 100% wrong?
Yes, we have. Sir, you have worked very closely with the Bharatiya Janata Party. You were the advisor to the finance minister of Bharatiya Janata Party. You were advisor to LK Advani at one point in time. Yeah, you have worked very, very closely with Bharatiya Janata Party. Sir, there is a lot of rumors about Bharatiya Janata Party having internal rifts. Are they true? Do you think it is happening? And if it happens, do you think Bharatiya Janata Party will be able to solve it?
I worked with the government. Okay. So I didn't work in the political arm of that government. So I know a little bit, but I'm not an expert in it. I know the economics of that government, and the politics, internal politics is something else. But that party has changed. Vajpayee and Advani were trying to mold that party into a right of center liberal party. Whereas now it has become some kind of a Mussolini-led party with, fancy dress contests and large parades and all these things. And this party is very different. This party has no economics. This party has no idea of what education policy has to be. This party has no, today, because it doesn't allow any discussion. The BJP used to be a party with a lot of discussion. There used to be a baitak every second day on something or the other. They had study groups, they had groups on economics, they had groups on defense, on security, maritime security, air security, all kinds of studies. There's no discussion in this party anymore. They've become a bunch of flag wavers. Now that's the difference. The big achievement of Modi is that he's destroyed a party's democratic structure. And he seized a party which was functioning and turned it into a fan club. And look at Rajnath Singh stands next to Modi, so scared. The other day, they tried to put a big garland around both their necks, and he was taking out the garland and letting it remain on both. And look at the imperious walks when he sees his colleagues. This is not a party of friends, a party of colleagues, or a collegial party. And who is this man, Amit Shah? He's Modi's man. Without Modi, he's nobody. Tomorrow, without Modi, he'll disappear. So, let's be pretty clear about what has happened here.
Sir, can I tell you something? You see, while we say this, but people in India, the people on the streets seem to be thinking differently. You see, I think a lot of Indians, and which is what even the Pew Research says, a lot of Indians do not mind authoritarian government. In fact, they prefer authoritarian government. A lot of people say that unlike Congress, Bharatiya Janata Party is taking decisions which Congress never took. So the point that I'm trying to make is, sir, that to think that therefore entire thing, the country is changing and the country is voting for a change and the country is coming out to vote for a change, don't you think we are expecting too much? And there is a slight flaw in that narrative.
Let's look at numbers. 2019 is 37%. NDA of the vote. That means 63% voted against you. What is happening now is the consolidation of that 63%. BJP, NDA could even be 40%, but there is a consolidation of 60% for the first time. And that
percentage of votes, sir, the percentage that you're talking about may not necessarily translate into seats, no, sir. Because end of the day, yes, I agree to you.
37% and 63%. Unfragmented 63% makes a big difference. How can you say it doesn't translate into seats? Of course it translates.
Sir, I'll tell you what I mean by that. What I mean by that is 38%, 38.7% or something to be precise. It's 39% pakde. So 39% vote share translated to 303 votes for Bharatiya Janata Party. The point that I'm trying to make is, end of the day, the balance 60% only translated to 200 odd votes, isn't it?
No. Balance 60%, fragmented. It was not
correct, but
it was not the monolithic 61%. It was a fragmented 61%. Broken up with one guy getting 15, one guy getting 14, somebody getting 20.
I agree, sir.
Rajiv Gandhi with 52%. First time anybody got over 50%. 52% got 404 seats. Even Rajiv Gandhi, after his mother got killed.
But sir, here, let me ask you.
So if this fragments are not going to take place, fragmentation is by and large been removed. By and large, it's still there in many places. The numbers, how the cookie will crumble changes.
Sir, this fragmentation, I agree. If everybody comes together, they work together, it would have been different. Now, the thing is, You see, except for maybe AAP and Congress in Delhi, or maybe Shiva Sena and Congress in Maharashtra, and a couple of parties here and there, CPI and Congress in West Bengal. See, TMC and Congress are not working together in West Bengal. CPI and Congress are not working together in Tamil Nadu. Like you rightly said, BRS and Congress are not working together.
Congress doesn't factor in in Bengal. It's TMC and BJP. Congress doesn't factor in Tamil Nadu. Congress factors in Kerala, where they are head-to-head with CPM. That's where BJP is hoping to get some space in between. But Congress really doesn't factor in many of these states. Congress is a factor in Rajasthan, in Madhya Pradesh, not even a factor in Maharashtra.
Yes.
So, where is it a factor? It's a factor in Karnataka, it's a factor in Telangana, it's not a factor in Andhra. Zero in Andhra.
Sir, tell me.
It is badly, and it's backed the wrong horses. So it's paying the price for it, but you will not have Congress might be the biggest opposition party, but it is the biggest sub-regional party, 2-3 regions with it. Others are single region parties. But it's the other parties who choose the leader. Together they'll have more seats in the Congress.
Sir, how do you see Congress? How do you see BJP doing in the north, especially in Uttar Pradesh and Delhi?
They will lose seats everywhere. They might win, but they will lose seats everywhere. They will lose 25, 30 seats. And they're not making that up in the south. They're losing in the south also. If they lose 20 seats in Karnataka, where are they going to make it up? So, they're going to lose 50, 60 seats, in my estimation. I'm not a pollster, but I have common sense. And I've seen enough elections from close quarters. I've seen enough of this to be able to get a good guesstimate.
So your guesstimate, therefore, is 240 to 260 is what your guesstimate is. Fair enough. Let us, sir, I want to, yeah, right, sir?
Yeah.
Close to that, correct. Sir, let me ask you a question, and I want to use your vast experience, and I want you to kind of draw a picture for me. What happens from here on? What happens if the Bharatiya Janata Party gets anything between 240 to 250? What happens next?
As long as Modi is the leader, nobody will touch them with the Bajpa on the other side. And after such a heated campaign, after such a heated decade, where political rivalry has become enmities, it will be difficult for others to touch it with the BJP. Second thing which will happen is that the regional parties will choose the next leader, whoever it might be. Not necessarily.
Who do you think?
Not necessarily.
Who do you think?
Not necessarily who the Congress party chooses.
Correct.
They could choose the Congress party leader. But I'm making an important caveat, not who the Congress party chooses. You can choose a congressman. After all, you're going to choose a leader who will be there for 2-3 years, doesn't fit in to sit there for a decade. Other parties have to survive. Why would Stalin want another Modi? Why would Mamata want another Modi? Who sit there for 10 years?
And what happens if BJP gets about 275? Then what happens?
They form a government.
Everything the same, everything back to normal, everything the way it is.
Normal. It won't be normal ever again. This business of changing caps every 3 times a day, changing clothes 3 times a day, grandstanding, not talking about policies, but talking about his favorite deity, not going to work anymore. The country has got to go somewhere. And there's serious threats to where this country is going to be and what it is going to be like. If the original conception of India as a progressive, scientific country of equals is not going to be there, what is going to keep us together?
Sir, tell me, let's move on to Rahul Gandhi and Congress. Do you see Rahul Gandhi at any given point in time coming in as a leader or taking over as a prime minister? Is there a scope? Is there a possibility?
I don't know him. I can't make an assessment. I've met him twice, Both times it was very polite social gatherings where we had dinner together and 4 people sat in. But how do you feel out a person? But he seems to be a good person. He has, all the niceties and social graces. I can't comment beyond that. I don't know what his ideas are on, job creation, what his ideas are on.
What was your view on about Congress's manifesto?
I think it's an interesting manifesto. First time there was some seriousness about it. Or understanding the country's problems. They were trying to address the problems. Universal transfer of benefits. It's an interesting idea. Maybe its time has come. But you got to see it's done equitably. But some of the Congress ideas like MSP for everybody and for everything may not work. The problem today is that you got MSP for some, and they're God's chosen people. Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan has done us more damage than anything else.
Sir, we will discuss MSP because I want to discuss that with you because my views are slightly different than yours, but that we will have it in another debate. But my last question, sir, to ask you is, tell me, sir, what is the next best thing that the opposition should have done to ensure? I'm saying next best thing is because opposition are quite convinced that they've done their best this time around. But what else could the opposition have done to have scored maybe a better or maybe a more convincing situation currently?
So the opposition is a shortcut. There is no the opposition. There are a number of parties out who are opposed to the BJP right now for various reasons, for their own politics and for their own market share in their different provinces. They've come together. They've made accommodations. They've not even come together. They've made accommodations. There is no opposition monolith. So I don't see them doing anything right or wrong. What they've done is the best under the circumstances.
Sir, my last question.
Even the BJP, NDA is an alliance. We all forget that. There are 38 parties in that. Some Shinde and some Pinde, all kinds of guys. Just because we see one guy who owns all the television studios and he's there on TV every day and is addressing only rallies, we think there is no NDA. There is an NDA. That's why Nitish Kumar is important to him. And if Nitish Kumar doesn't deliver, he doesn't go anywhere in Bihar. And Nitish Kumar is not delivering in Bihar.
Correct. Sir, Eknath Shinde, by the way, is a politician who has come up rank and file, sir. He's come up rank and file, and he's the chief minister of Maharashtra. So, uh, uh, uh,
So
sorry,
what? Does it
no. The
qualify?
fact is,
He drove an auto rickshaw. Does it qualify him? He doesn't. I'm not
sir,
impressed by things. I'm interested in what's in your head. Has he shown anything about what's in his head? Zero.
okay, sir.
He
Uh,
lost here in Telangana, but he showed what is in his head. This state had the highest economic growth rate in the last 10 years, highest in India. He turned a barren region into a prosperous state, which is green. And because the man had ideas. A Kamraj had ideas. Humble origins doesn't give you, some kind of a CV with it. Sometimes the
sir,
fellow rises.
humble origin also doesn't. Doesn't deny the fact that you can't make it good, isn't it, sir?
He can't, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It also could mean that you could just be a crooked fellow, biding his time.
Sir, my last question to you. Sir, 2029. I know I asked the last question. I want one more question to be answered, sir. 2029 is when Women Reservation Bill is actually going to be implemented. Do you see changes after Women's Reservation Bill is implemented? Do you see change in our parliament? Do you see change in our administration? Do you see change in our politics?
I think there will be change because women in government make a difference because their priorities are different. In a village, they'll vote for water, they'll vote for schools, they'll vote for medical care rather than a temple or, a town hall. Men like town halls because they like to go and hang around somewhere. First thing you do in a village these days, your panchayat is they build a hall. Because, the development priorities will change. Because women are the ones bringing up children, feeding them, looking after them, concerned. They nurture the family. In rural India particularly, even in urban India, men are doing their evening thing. Look at how much of liquor is consumed in this country. Look at all the clubs. Look at all the toddy shops. They're all loaded with men. So women have different concerns. I think more women in government is a good thing. More women in parliament is a good thing. More women in the Supreme Court is a good thing. We see that.
So with that positive note, sir, I'll take your leave. Thank you so much for talking to us. What a pleasure talking to you as always. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.